everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cupquake and we are finishing off this Halloween season with one last cosplay. I thought I had to cosplay as Beatrix from Slime Rancher because this game I have been loving this whole year, and she was recently introduced to the game when it launched, so I thought she looked so adorable and I wanted to create her and become a Slime Rancher of my own. So the first thing we're gonna go over is Beatrix gun. So this is a pretty intense DIY, so bear with me. If you guys don't want to do the gun, you can completely skip over it. I do have a tutorial for the actual slimes, so that could be a additional little accessory for your costume. But here is the gun. So what you're gonna need is a 1 liter bottle. So go ahead and take off the wrapping for that, clean it up as much as you can, and then we're gonna grab a smaller bottle that will fit inside of this bottle. And I could put the actual liters of the bottle in the description. I'll have a website post where you guys can find all the information on this tutorial. So the first thing we're gonna do is cut off the top of the large 1 liter bottle. So be careful when you're doing this. I tried using a box cutter, but I found it was easier with an X-Acto knife. So cut off the cap portion of the bottle as neatly as possible, and then we're going to cut off the bottom portion as well. So on the second line, the first line closest to the bottle, just cut off the whole bottom portion of this bottle. So you should have something that looks like this. So we're going to be able to stick in the smaller bottle inside this one just like that. But before we do this, we are going to spray paint this bottle black. So I'm going to take that outside, spray paint it black, and let that dry. So next up for the gun portion, I have a couple templates for you guys. Again, link will be in the description. It will be on our website, iHasCupquake.com, if you guys want to give this a go. So these are the templates that I used. So place your 2 templates down on a piece of EVA foam, trace them on, and then we're going to flip them over. I know they're going to be opposite, but that's what we want. So flip both of them over, and then do the same thing, trace them out, and cut these out using either scissors or an X-Acto knife. So do the same thing for this handle looking portion and cut those out as well. And you could use the rough side of these. They give it a really cool texture, or you can use the soft side. So go ahead and glue these together. I am just using hot glue to adhere these together, but if you want something a little more stronger, you can use some E6000. But for the purpose of this video, just to show you guys, I just used some hot glue. Let those dry completely and make sure you press them down firmly. Then I'm gonna take this outside and spray paint it black as well. So now that you have your other pieces cut out, we are going to glue these together. So the 2 pieces that have this little notch in it, we're gonna place them together first, making sure to line up all the pieces. And again, I'm just using some hot glue to adhere all of these together. So next I'm gonna grab the other piece and we're gonna line this up and glue it down again. So we're gonna sandwich these 2 inner pieces together, just like this. So we're going to glue those 4 pieces together, and you should have a little hole right here so we can insert the other foam piece that we just spray painted. So press that down firmly, let that go ahead and dry, and let's go back to our black bottle that we just spray painted. I'm gonna add a little bit of detail onto this, and what we're gonna do is grab some blue ribbon, and we're gonna place this on the bottle. You can place it on one side and then make sure it goes in the little crease of the bottom of the bottle, and then we're going to bring it all the way along the other side of the bottle, and we're going to do this inside every single crease and on the portions that aren't creased. So one side is in the crease and one side isn't. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and cut this and use these little glue dots to just keep it in place. So do this all the way around the bottle. You don't have to worry about this bottom portion because we are going to hide that in a second. So next I'm gonna grab 2 bowls. These could be any size that you like, but this is gonna be the back circular portion of the gun. And we're gonna spray paint these black just like that, and then we are going to put them together to make one big circle. So they don't quite fit together, so what we've decided to do was grab some EVA foam, trace the circle and make it a little bit larger, and use this to adhere the 2 of them together. So make sure to place the glue What we did was just place the bowl on top of it and then outline the bowl so we can see exactly where we needed to glue, and then use some hot glue to glue those pieces together. So next, place your black bottle inside the larger bottle, and we're gonna create the actual gun tip. And I'm just using a black plastic cup. You can spray paint a cup here too, and we're gonna cut out the bottom portion to make sure that it fits inside of the black cap. So I used an X-Acto knife to cut this out, and then make sure that it fits nicely inside. So before we adhese it, I'm going to put some blue EL wire onto our black bottle so we can have our gun actually glow like it does in the game. So I'm going to place it on the bottom portion of the bottle that is not going to show, and we're going to wrap it around. So I want to hide the wire that sticks out. This is a battery operated EL wire. I'm just going to cut a tiny little rectangle out of the bottom using an X-Acto knife and stick the wire through. Then pull that wire through the top portion of the bottle, and we are going to make this go through the cup as well. And the battery pack is actually going to sit inside of the cup. So make sure that your battery pack fits inside of the cup with the top of the cap inside of the cup as well. So once we have that wire ready to go, I just wrapped it around and glued it down with some of the glue dots. Again, these things are awesome, just on either side. So I put one on the end and one at the beginning. So now we're ready to put this inside of our larger liter bottle. So place that inside, place the cup right over that. And then I'm using some hot glue to glue down both the black bottle to the larger liter bottle, and then we're going to press the cup right on top of that so it'll all glue down together. Be careful when you're doing this because the hot glue might melt the plastic, so make sure to not have the gun super hot, or you can let it kind of air out before you decide to push down the cup. So for the bottom portion of the gun, I grabbed another black bowl. This is a different one. It's a smaller one that fits closely to the liter bottle. So to get this to fit snug, I'm just gonna cut some slits in the bottom of the liter of the bottle, add some hot glue onto this bowl, and then place that right on top. So it looks a little bit messy with the glue showing, but we are going to hide that in just a second. Before we do that, I'm gonna grab a small rectangular piece of the foam. So you can heat the foam with a heat gun to kind of bend the shape. So I've already done this and created a little upward lip, and this is going to fit snugly inside the gun. So there is a template for this one as well on our website. So now just grab some hot glue and glue this down, and this is going to act as the little base that our bottles are gonna sit on top of. So I'm gonna place some glue, make sure that the bottom is lined up with the bottom of the bottle so you don't have any of the wires or tags or like leftover stuff showing. And we're going to look to see where the bottle actually touches. And we're only gonna add some hot glue right there. So you don't need to add it everywhere because it'll just be a little excessive. So add some hot glue, place the bottle on top of that, and let it dry. Next, I'm gonna grab the black piece that fits perfectly and snugly in the orange foam. I've placed some glue on the inside of that. So go ahead and glue that in, and then place a tiny bit of glue on the top portion where it touches the bowl. So now to hide the glue, I'm grabbing some more foam, and I just went ahead and cut out a circle, and we're kind of just eyeballing it and cutting as we go. But we're going to, again, add some more glue and glue that down so it hides all of the icky looking glue. So this part is a little tricky. The bowl didn't fit quite into the round portion of the gun like we thought it would. So what we did was just grabbed a smaller piece of black foam and placed it where the actual bowl didn't touch, so we can add as much glue as we possibly can to the bowl because it is kind of just hanging out there. So this one did give us a little bit of trouble, but we ended up kind of working with it and making it work. So next, for some of the details of the gun, I'm just grabbing some black thin foam and we're rolling this up to create the little handle that sticks out on the gun. So once you have it rolled, go ahead and cut out a circle that will fit right on top of that. And then we're just gonna glue it on top, only on one side. Then you can cut out a couple more circles of foam because the gun does have some circles on it. So next I'm getting some tubing, and we are going to spray paint this orange. I've added a couple of squares of foam with circles cut out so that this fits nicely inside, and we are going to add some glue right here and adhese it to the bottom portion of the gun. Then I'm just gluing on some of the circular details for the gun, grabbing a Sharpie and drawing on some of the lines. You can also use a Sharpie to draw on any of the details. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you can grab a heat gun and heat the foam so it creates a nice smooth line and you don't have any jagged edges. So next we're going to work on some of the costume for Beatrix. I am grabbing some batting, and I measured around my neck where I want her. She has like a little poofy white cylindrical thing that sits around her neck. And I just measured around my neck where I want that to sit. It ended up being 19 inches. So I'm cutting a piece of batting that is 19 inches. So what we're gonna do is grab a piece of white or off-white fabric, and we are going to cut this the same length as the batting. Then we're going to place the batting on top of the fabric and kind of roll it up like a big burrito. So then I'm going to cut off any of the excess batting that is sticking out because we want the fabric to only show. And then I'm going to use a hot glue gun to just glue down the whole fabric, and then grab some scissors and cut off any of the excess batting that's sticking out of the sides. Next, I'm going to cut out a circle from the white fabric, and we're just going to glue this on both of the edges so that we don't see any of the batting. And then what I did to add this to the rest of the costume was, once I had the little jacket, which I bought off of Amazon, link is in the description again, we just tacked this down once we had it on. So for the makeup, I'm gonna start off with a clean face, and I'm gonna prime my face with my favorite primer, Yves Saint Laurent, and this just makes your skin nice and silky smooth, ready for your foundation. Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation is my go-to foundation, and I'm just adding this onto my face to create a blank slate. Then I'm grabbing a blending sponge and blending this in more so we have a nice smooth face. So for her makeup, I am just grabbing a orangey earthy tone. Something that is a warm tone will definitely work here, and I'm just using a blending brush to put this all on my top eyelid and then blend it upwards and fade it out towards your brow bone. Then I'm grabbing a blush brush and I'm adding a pinky reddish tone onto my nose and to the cheeks. So you want to exaggerate this a little bit because Beatrix has a really cute red nose, so make sure to take note of that when you're adding this on. Then I'm going to grab some bronzer and I'm going to place a little bit of this underneath my nose to kind of make my nose look like a cute little button nose. And I'm also going to add some bronzer on my cheeks and underneath my jawline. I'm also placing some on the inner bridge of my nose just for a little additional shading, just an optional step. So I'm grabbing some mascara and I'm placing this on my eyelashes. For her eyebrows, I'm going to be using a green eyeshadow with an angled brush. And her eyebrows are pretty thick, so I tried to mimic that here, but if you want to go with your original shape of your eyebrows, you can totally do that. But here is what it looks like. So now I'm going to place on some eyelashes to make my eyes look extra cute. And for the lips, I'm just grabbing a darker color. So in the game, she doesn't have any lips. So I thought I would just mimic this by doing the upper, just only the upper lip, but I ended up doing both the bottom and top when I was completely done. So for her hair, I am going to be using a wig that was sent to me by Donna Love Hair. I'll put the link in the description for you guys if you're interested on checking this out. But this is a lace front wig and it comes with some clips here. So it's really, really easy to put on. So I went ahead and put the wig on. I put a little bit of lace tape on the front of my wig so it can stick to my head. And then I'm just gonna style the hair a little bit. This wig is really long, so I ended up cutting the bangs because Beatrix does have bangs. So I'm just grabbing a big majority of the hair and placing them in two large kind of ponytail buns. And these are gonna sit in the back of my head. And then I went ahead and cut the bangs. So for the rest of her costume, I am just using a pink tank top along with these orange shorts. These are actually men's cargo shorts. So I thought they fit perfectly. I couldn't find any orange ones, so it still got the job done. I'm also going to wear some pink sneakers and a pair of fingerless gloves. And then you can add any belts and buckles. Feel free to customize your own Slime Rancher costume. And that is all I did to create this Beatrix cosplay. I think she came out so cute. I really do feel like a Slime Rancher, especially with the little Slime Rancher plushies that we created. There will be a DIY for you guys to check out. I'll put that in the description if you guys want to try to make these little slimes for this costume. But I love the way she came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed all of the cosplays that we created this Halloween season. Please leave a fat like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cupquake, and I will see you all